What's up everyone, I am the Hunter Fisher. Welcome to the Kastking channel. If you guys don't already know who I am, allow me to introduce myself. I am the Hunter Fisher. I have my own channel here on YouTube. I do a lot of multi-species content, a lot of bass fishing, a lot of microfishing. But today here on the Kastking channel, I'm gonna help you guys out in figuring out how you set up your brand new BFS bait casting reel today. Let's get to it. Alright guys, let's get into it. I'm going to explain to you guys what a BFS reel really is. So what BFS fishing really is bait finesse system. It's really just a certain type of bait caster that has a shallow spool. If you guys haven't already seen it, the Zephyr BFS is a shallow spool reel. There's actually two models now of the Zephyr BFS reel. There is the one without a drag clicker and one with a drag clicker. The one I'll be using today is with a drag clicker. If you guys want to go check it out, go click the links in the description. Go check it out. This new one is really cool. I love the drag clicker. It adds kind of the ability to hear when that fish is pulling away from you, stuff like that. It's kind of important whenever you're fighting a fish, but there is a kind of a learning curve that comes to fishing with BFS reels. So BFS reels are really meant for throwing light lures. So your first step when you're throwing light lures is you need to have a rod that can do it. So definitely get a rod. That's the first step. Get a rod that can throw those lighter lures because you're going to need it in the long run. Second step is figuring out what kind of line you need to throw on there. So right here on this reel right now, I have, I believe, 6-pound monofilament. So this is specific crappie line that I'm using just because I figured it'd be best for me to use in the reel. But I'm going to be using 6-pound line. I probably have about roughly 40 yards or 50 yards spooled up on there. And I've actually got my reel already set up, but I'm gonna go from the top and show you guys how you can set up your own BFS reel today. So I'm gonna start all from scratch, show you guys how to do it today. But first step really is getting that reel spooled up. Now, a quick suggestion, what I always suggest is to actually loop around your spool more than once whenever you're setting up any type of line on a BFS reel, even if it's braid, monofilament, fluorocarbon, doesn't matter. As long as you go around the spool more than once with a loop and then tie off to your line. I usually use recently I've been using more uni knots whenever I tie to the line to the spool, just because with the lighter lines it cinches itself down versus, you know, where it's grabbing onto itself and breaking it super easily. That's enough talking about how to spool up your reel. I'm actually going to show you guys how you can set up your reel today so that you can get to fishing these micro lures like Ned rigs, tiny jerk baits. Even what I have on today, I have a Rebel crick hopper on, and I'm gonna be fishing a little bluegill pond that I fish often. So, and yeah, I'm catching bluegill with this reel. So let's get to it. I'm gonna show you guys how you can do it today. All right, guys, I'm gonna get this reel set up. So really, there is a traditional method for setting up bait casters a lot of people will use when they set up their very first bait caster. But what I'm actually using today is a slightly different from that lure drop method that you guys use typically when you set up a bait caster, which that's a really good method for beginners when you're first learning how to cast a bait caster. But this is a little bit more accurate way of getting those light lures to have better distance. So really the starting point is taking your reel, take your spool, put your hands on it, and if you can wiggle it side to side, I'm actually gonna go backwards and show you guys. So if you guys listen closely, you can kind of hear my spool hitting side to side on the side of the reel. You don't want that. So the tighter you get, take your fingers, do that wobbling thing, and get it tighter and tighter on itself so you won't have any side to side play. And that essentially what it is the spool spinning so fast that it's spitting light out. With lighter lures, you need that spool to allow line to come out easily. Versus whenever you're throwing heavier lures, you don't want it to spin so fast so you can be more accurate. You get that spool tight, you won't have to worry about it. But usually what I like to do, I don't go to 80%, I don't go to 90%, I go to full max brakes when I first start out. And if what happens essentially is I start out with full brakes and I actually start taking down brakes as I'm casting more and more. So essentially there's a little kind of like a no fault system of casting and casting and casting. So repeatedly, if you keep casting and it keeps landing left, that means your brakes are way too high. So you keep dropping down your brakes, but keep making sure that your thumb is on that spool because you want to have it for whenever your thumb's on the spool. So you need to have your thumb, essentially whenever you engage it, you want to keep that thumb on your spool. Just leave it on there. Just lay it on there, have no push on it, have no tension, things like that. But from as you cast and cast and cast, like say for example, if I were to cast right here, I just landed a little to the left. So I'm gonna go down a little bit. So now I'm at about roughly 5 2/5. So, because there's roughly about 4 ticks in between each spot on your reel. And with each tick, you're gonna go down and down. So overall, You just need to make sure you're having that spool tension tight and work your brakes down as you go along. So I'm going to talk more about it on the water and on my GoPro, but today we're going to try to see if we can catch a few fish just to show you guys a little bit more about the features of the Zephyr. So what the Zephyr is a great budget option. If you're looking for a new great BFS reel to get into this lighter lure fishing, this essentially is trying to eliminate your need of a spinning reel for finesse applications. So today we're going to be trying to fish with the BFS system today, and hopefully we can get on some gills, because I haven't caught a big bluegill in a little bit. Let's get out on the water. I'll see you guys there. All right, guys, we're walking up to our first spot today. This is a little pond. There's tons of big bluegill in here. But recently we've been getting a ton of rain, so we have tons of these little puddles, and these puddles have been producing, let me tell you that. But there's a culvert underwater over here, so I'm gonna see if I can go catch a fish in the culvert real quick. So I got my reel dialed in, so if I cast, it should land relatively right in front of me. Perfect. Oh, already got smacked. Oh, dang it. I already got smacked. That's so funny. Let's try again. So guys, kind of like what I'm using right now is a kind of like a crankbait, but it floats up to the top so that I can fish it on top, and I'm going to be essentially casting. This thing only weighs 1/10 of an ounce, by the way, guys, so this is not an easy lure to cast usually with a bait caster. All right, should be right on top of the fish there. Oh, there's fish hitting over there. What I'm doing, guys, is I'm actually allowing it to float up to the top and popping my rod to get it to essentially dive down a little bit, look like a cricket or a bug on top of the water. One thing I am going to run into with the problem with fishing this lighter top water style lure is I have treble hooks on, so that's going to get stuck in the grass quite easily. So we are going to start moving down the water some, start breaking some ground down. I wish I could cast that out there, but I don't want to get stuck in that grass, because I can 100% cast all the way out there. I'm not going to today because I am not losing lures. Guys, I'm trying to make sure I'm real quiet because there's always a fish right. Oh, there's two right there. I can see them. Oh, dang it, I had a bass. Oh, just got waked by a bass. There we go. You hear that drag, guys? Oh my God. There we go, guys. First one of the day. Let's go, y'all. Let's go, first fish of the day. He absolutely demolished that freaking little crick hopper. There you go, guys. First fish on the Zephyr today, the new updated Zephyr. You guys heard that drag screaming for a second? He took it and ran. It's awesome. Let's get him all put together. Sick. Let's go. All right, guys, that's the first fish on the Zephyr today. Let's let him go quietly, because I think there's a couple more fish here. There's actually some big old gills too. Let's let him go. There we go. Sick. Let's go, guys. Let's catch a couple more. There we go. There's another one, finally. Is that a bluegill? Nah, it's a bass. Yep. Oh, he's not even pulling drag. Come on, buddy, you can pull drag. There you go. Good job, buddy. Sweet. Caught ourselves another bassy boy. That's another one for the books. Another one for the books. All right, guys. That is fish number 2 of the day. Hopefully we can get another one on the board, just because I think it'd be really cool to do a little video with 3 fish minimum for you guys. But here we go, let's get the hook out. It's always useful having tiny pliers for tiny lures, I'll tell you guys that for sure. But there's the second fish for the day. That's another one at this little pond I've been fishing. I've been using that little crick bait, and there's tons of schoolie bass in this little shallow pond area, but I'm gonna let this little guy go. Right there. There you go, buddy. That is fish number 2 of the day, guys. Hopefully we can land a couple more, maybe even one more really. But essentially what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fish this shallow cut right here. Just kind of like, not like fan casting, but accurate casting, because with this light lure and the BFS bait caster, I'm able to cast a little bit more accurately, make sure I hit my points and, you know, nail it. There we go. There we go, that's the fish. Here we go, guys. Another fish for the day. Another number 3 on that little cricket lure. Using that like a topwater. I think he just peed on me a little bit, but you know, that happens. It's good luck for the next time I go fishing. All right, get that hook out of his mouth. Get that hook out of his mouth. Bada bing, bada boom. Thanks, buddy, for giving me a good old fight. That was fish number 3 for the day, guys. And let's let him get out of here. Fine then, I didn't want to wave goodbye to you or anything anyways. All right, guys, let's get back to the truck and I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit more about this reel. All right, guys, that was fish number 3 for the day, and I am done. I'm calling after that point, but we caught 3 fish today on the new BFS reel from Kastking, that Kastking Zephyr with the drag clicker included. That drag clicker is a really nice thing, especially with, like, say, more in the situation of someone who's up north. If you're in trout streams, it's gonna be loud. That drag clicker makes sense. But today I'm not in that. I am in Florida. I'm fishing in grass. The only thing that's really pulling drag is those bass when they get stuck in there. But the nice addition of the drag clicker is always nice to have, and I thoroughly enjoy having it just because I know when it's pulling fish. Remember, tighten that spool tension, get those brakes maxed out, turn them down as you go. Left means less brakes, right means more brakes. If it's backlashing, that just means you need more brakes, or your spool tension needs to be a little bit tighter. That is essentially all in all how you set up a BFS reel, especially if it's your brand new BFS reel from Kastking. Definitely go check it out if you haven't gotten one already. I love the reel, it has great drag, it's really consistent, and overall is really easy to cast. You guys saw me casting in a little bit of a tight spot around grass patches, things like that. Really put it to the test today, and you guys need to go check it out. Without further ado, thanks for watching the video. Make sure you guys subscribe to Kastking, and also go check out my channel over at The Hunter Fisher. I'll see you guys there.